In this demo, I'll show how MetaKarta and the data lineage it provides can be a great complement to Sigma users. So I'll start off in Sigma. I have a number of different workbooks and data models to show kind of the depth and breadth of MetaKarta's integration. We can start with, a pretty simple workbook that has multiple charts, tables within it. And so MetaKarta is going to have information about the Sigma workbooks as well as the data sources that are feeding into these. And so a user in Sigma can easily access this information side by side with MetaKarta's browser extension. It is context aware, so that as a user clicks on a particular element within Sigma, right, we'll show what MetaKarta's view of that information is, whether it's again different charts or right different tables, right. We'll highlight what are the different data elements used in that, and the key one is going to be the data flow for each one. If I go back to my one at the top here, when I expand my data flow, right, we'll provide kind of two key things from a lineage perspective. One is, what's the nearest neighbor? And so this is where we can tell you if this data is built from a Sigma data model, if it's coming directly from a database, if there's custom SQL used in the connection, right? So we can show you what the immediate source of this is. But we also show the ultimate source because MetaKarta's lineage can go completely end to end all the way back to things like source applications. Those could be, in SQL Server, Oracle, DB2 databases. But as you see here, it could also be in a CSV file on your data lake. So we show you both kind of the immediate lineage as well as the complete end-to-end view within here as well. It's important to note that this is a summary of information that users can have side by side. To understand, right, the complete, end-to-end data flow, then users can also go into the MetaKarta interface where they can see the detailed lineage. And so when I expand this view, what you'll see is, kind of a systems level view. Here's my, kind of Sigma page with the individual fields all the way down here at the right with my "you are here" pin. And you can see how this flows upstream through Snowflake, through SQL Server, and data is being combined from multiple sort of source applications to consolidate all of that information. I can look at an individual field and trace how something like customer payment amount actually flows through this. And if I want to drill into, maybe Snowflake in more details, right, I can kind of highlight that field tracing all the way through here. And I can continue that all the way upstream. So we're providing a great deal more information, helping you understand, right, where this data came from, how it got here, even going in as we go through here, showing kind of the transformations that happen along the way. So within each one of these, right, we'll also show you details about things like stored procedures or ETL jobs that are feeding this. So we're tracing all of the steps at a very granular level. So you can either, get down into the details of the data movement, or you could keep it high level just at the systems level view. Another example I want to show is the way that we integrate with Snowflake Semantic Views as a way of, kind of stitching all of this information together. So I'm going to look at this, invoice versus PO amounts workbook. When I expand this one, again, I'll see the general information about the content and the data flow. Now, in this case, right, what we're actually doing is selecting the data from a Snowflake semantic view. And we'll show you the query details down here. What we'll see is, right, the details about this query matches exactly, what you can see within Sigma. So if I go into my Sigma query history, right, I'll see a match on, right, the query in Sigma and what, MetaKarta is using as its source of how this information is being pulled together. So from here, I can go back and do the same, expansion into MetaKarta. Let's look at the lineage for that one. And in this case, what we can see is that, my Sigma workbook is actually connecting to Snowflake through the semantic view. And that semantic view is based on, multiple tables within Snowflake. And like we saw in the previous example, right, those are coming from, sources even, well beyond Snowflake, multiple steps and platforms before Snowflake, giving you the full end-to-end traceability. when we are cataloging these things, right, we also take, the Snowflake Semantic Views, right, and catalog those. So the same way we were bringing in all of the, the workbooks, the data models, right, the objects from Sigma, we're doing the same thing in Snowflake with the Semantic Views. So you can see all the individual dimensions and metrics within here. And this is important because what you're able to do is also impact analysis. So if I am, trying to understand where a particular metric is defined and how it's being used, you can easily get that information from MetaKarta as well. So you can do the forward tracing. I want to start from, a particular, uh, column, a table, a metric in Snowflake, and I want to basically look forward and see what's are the dependencies. So where is this actually being used in what Sigma workbook is that appearing in? So hopefully this gives you a good idea of the ways that MetaKarta can complement Sigma. Basic table stakes in terms of just highlighting, context sensitive, metadata around Sigma. The detailed end-to-end lineage that goes not just to the immediate data warehouse, but goes all the way back to the source. And integration with things like, Snowflake Semantic Views, showing that sort of triangular relationship between Snowflake, Sigma, and MetaKarta.